everyone. My name is Olivier Chanou. I'm very proud to be here. Thanks a lot to Google to give us the opportunity to present our solution, social, extranet, and intranet platform. So you would see that I think we are a very unique product on the market because we will bring a bridge between social network and intranet platform. Don't be afraid. You see, I'm French with my beautiful French accent. I would have the pleasure to introduce Brent here that will do all the demo. He's an American guy, so it will be more easy for you to follow all the session. Brent, please come here. Is it?
Yeah, but don't clap for me yet. Okay. So thank you, Olivier. Hi, everybody. I'm Brent, and I'm the Strategic Account Manager for the West Coast for LumApps. I'm based out of our Portland office, which is localized in my living room. And fun fact about the Portland office, there's no dress code. So, as you can see, I've dressed up for you. I've been in the collaboration software space for the past 3 years, previously as a technical account manager for Jive Software. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to speak. I'll be talking for the majority of this presentation, so I'll try to keep it fun. So again, truly honored to have this opportunity to discuss my professional passion with you. As much as I'd like to pace back and forth confidently on stage as I recite this talk, my memory leaves something to be desired, so I'm going to stand here. The theme of today's discussion is the word engagement. Bringing your employees together, keeping them active, and leveraging technology to do it. The digital workplace plays a central role in this topic as it enables organizations to increase engagement, rethink processes, and realize better efficiency and productivity. So what is the digital workplace? TechTarget defines the digital workplace as how technology is increasingly creating a virtual equivalent of the physical workplace. And Gartner takes it a step further to say that a true digital workplace exploits consumer-oriented styles and technologies like consumer social and productivity platforms. And personally, I define it as the convergence of business tools and consumer UX so that we can continue to blur the lines between work and play to rationalize me staying up until 3 a.m. preparing for this talk. But really, as a remote and mobile employee, the concept of engagement, and by extension, the digital workplace, resonates with me personally. I need to be involved in, connected to, and engaged with my organization to be successful. So some quick stats to convey the relevance of the digital workplace today. CMS Wire's State of the Digital Workplace report tells us that 85% of organizations are moving towards a digital workplace. 48% are just getting the ball rolling, but 37% are well on their way to completing the transformation. Fujitsu's digital workplace survey reports that 58% of business managers see the digital workplace infrastructure as the most critical success factor in staying competitive. And finally, Gartner specifically highlights the platform upon which companies build their digital business as the key building block for success. Now, these 3 slides paint the picture that modern organizations are realizing that embracing a digital workplace is a critical strategy for staying competitive. Plainly put, having engaged employees in a digital hub creates value greater than the sum of its parts. So bearing that in mind, I want to take just a couple minutes to tell you about who LumApps is as a company and where we fit into this conversation. So here's a nice map. It shows up very well on this monitor. It shows where our offices are. I don't need to call out each one here, but you can see that we're a global company. If you squint, you may notice that the Portland office is not represented. I'm definitely not bitter about that. But the one standout dot is our founding headquarters and development office in Lyon, France. What's important to call out here is that 50% of our employees are in that blue dot. We do 100% internal development and maintain a strong focus on the products. We also raised an $8 million Series A just 1 year ago, and in only a few short years, we've already connected 2.5 million employees on the platform. Now, we're at Google's biggest event of the year, so I'll mention 4 quick accolades. Out of over 1,000 apps On the Google Marketplace, LumApps is the only intranet solution recommended by Google for G Suite customers. Built on GCP, we meet the highest standards of security and compliance, and we're part of Google's early adopter program, allowing us to align our roadmap tightly with Google's latest technology. And there's more about that to come later in the presentation. And finally, at last year's Partner Summit, we were awarded Google's prestigious Solution Innovation of the Year award. Now, I mentioned 2.5 million users on the platform, and here is a smattering of the companies that trust us to be their social intranet and/or extranet. These familiar logos across all industries only represent a small portion of our customer base. But not pictured is my absolute favorite statistic, which is that since our launch, we have had 0 customer churn. So enough about who we are. Let's talk about what we do. LumApps fulfills the vision of the digital workplace by bringing together 3 core concepts. The corporate portal, empowering companies to communicate and inform employees, promote a common culture, and engage employees. Team collaboration, empowering teams to capture and share knowledge and communicate in real time. And the enterprise social network, empowering individuals to have an online identity, connect with their peers, and express views. So let's punctuate this talk with a quick video that has 4 of my favorite things: cartoon business people, upbeat guitar strumming, clapping, and LumApps.
Innovative companies know how to put their staff first. What do all these happy employees have in common? Every day, they love working on LumApps, the social intranet. So whether you work on the go, in the field, or from your office, our cloud-based platform gives you easy access to your work environment, wherever you are. Customize LumApps so it fits your brand identity and build your corporate culture. You don't have to go hunting. LumApps handpicks relevant content that matters to you. Your collaborative suite is directly integrated in LumApps. Get an overview of your daily tools, like G Suite, email, documents, and calendar. Access all your favorite business apps in one click and receive real-time notifications. Find what you're looking for instantly. LumApps leverages the leading search engine, Google Cloud Search, to scan for content in your entire information system. Find people by skills, teams, or location in the employees directory. Connect with coworkers, start a conversation, or follow their activity. Join communities and start to collaborate on projects. Share and discuss ideas with your colleagues. Join the millions of happy employees who already work on LumApps, the social intranet.
Great. Now, if that track is stuck in your head and you want to hear it on repeat, find me after this talk. We'll get marketing to share it with you. So if I were to ask you to remember one slide, it'd be this. This is LumApps realizing the vision of the digital workplace. Using the platform, organizations can provide a single point of entry for people with individual identity, personal profiles, and social communities, information and knowledge with documents, news, posts, articles, and tools and apps, productivity and collaboration, real-time communication, and third-party business applications. Lastly, as you can see in the center of that diagram, a couple different devices built on mobile responsive technology. LumApps is also accessible on responsive web, as well as iOS and Android applications. So before Mary walks you through what I've been blabbing about, I want to review how we enable organizations to engage all their employees. We help G Suite customers by connecting all employees with rich social profiles, empowering people to have a digital identity and voice with reactions, commenting, and outcomes, providing relevant, personalized content, and encouraging employee networking with social network features and gamification. The end result is that employees have a single place to access the people, content, business applications, and everything else they need to work. And the end user experience is personalized, customizable, and consistent with familiar consumer experiences. All right, Enough from me for now. Mary, can I hand this off?
Hi, everyone. Like Brent said, I'm Mary. I am based in our Austin LumApps office, and I will be doing a product demo, highlighting a few of the features Brent did a great job, as he says, blabbing about up to this point. I'm really excited to be here. It's my first Google Next. It's pretty incredible. And some of the features that I want to show you today are what our 2.5 million users are using every day and leveraging in really powerful ways. So I want to talk about top-down communication. Communication in a traditional corporate way, as well as horizontal communication, peer-to-peer collaboration, leveraging our coworkers and their brains and their knowledge and their ideas. Of course, we're at Google Next, so I definitely want to hit on some of the native G Suite integration features that we have. And lastly, we're going to get into some admin features to see highlight some autonomy within the system, that maybe we have some IT individuals here, and it's not necessarily a tool for you. It can be an autonomous tool where each department head can control, publish, create content in their own space. So what I have here is a typical demo site. I like to start off with saying branding is fully customizable to your corporate brand and your look and feel. So think about your end users experiencing one similar user experience, whether in your intranet, corporate website, or other corporate applications. As Brent and Olivier mentioned, our company is based in France. Our IT team is based in France. So they will receive in their intranet different content than myself, based in US as a salesperson, because content is delivered based on user profile. Who you are, what you do in the company, determines the content that you receive, which makes it a really relevant, up-to-date platform. So on the homepage, we're starting off with what we call global news that could be relevant to the entire company. And then news, like I said, that's based on who you are. So I'm interested in tech. I'm interested in lifestyle. So I'm given news specifically for me. And that goes with this content for job offers as well. If you want to have an internal job offers to retain that employee engagement, retention as well, based on who you are. Brent mentioned business apps, and you can see that here. You're no longer wondering, where do I go to find my reimbursement? It's right there. It's all in one place for you and your end users. And G Suite, here we go. So all in one place, you have your G Suite tools that you live in and you work in every day. And think about your users who aren't always on their computer. They have it right here, always in one place for them. You can immediately launch a Hangout, look through your Google Drive, scan your latest emails. And we talked too about LumApps being a social intranet and enhancing peer-to-peer collaboration. And we find that through our communities, which are a very structured social space where employees are encouraged to share their ideas, their best practices, ask each other questions. Okay, so getting out of the home page, let's jump into the user directory. So the user directory is natively synced with existing Google groups. As an example, Chris changed his profile this morning in G Suite, and it updates automatically in LumApps. You see some fields here, and these can be completely customizable. So what I mean is, Chris has the opportunity to change his phone number, but we don't want him changing his title. So you can be very granular and specific with which users have access to edit which fields within LumApps user directory, and visibility as well. You can have hidden fields. If I'm interested in Chris, I can follow him, which means I'll get a notification every time he produces a news article or updates. I can send him an email or a hangout immediately. And I can also view the org chart, see who Chris is working most closely with and working for. One thing I know I'm always using is looking for people, coworkers, that can help me with my Spanish publications because I work in LATAM. So this is one way we use it in LumApps, to find each other, use each other. Example here with language. So speaking of search, we'll go to the global search. Not only does it search content in LumApps, but also searches, of course, users, who works in the sales department, for an example, my business apps that are either named or tagged with sales, and into my Google Drive. So it gives a great 360 view based off of one word of my resources and my tools. So let's get into the social feature. Sales community as an example. Communities, we see them leveraged really powerfully, department-based, project-based spaces. By no means a free-for-all, very structured in who can join, who is a member, who has access to post and share. And there's different ways, different structured ways of sharing. For instance, if you want to create a post that's idea-specific, I'm asking for feedback. I have an up and down vote option. There's also question posts, too. I'm specifically seeking an answer to my question. And we see these becoming a really organic wiki knowledge base, questions by users answered by other users. And again, all this is searchable, so you're not losing this very important content in an infinite scroll. I have also here an event post. So it's really interesting. You can add in a community an associated Google Drive and Google Calendar. So for the sales community, for example, all my members have access to share information with each other, share posts, and access the shared resources in this Google Drive and in this Google Calendar. And one example is for Google Next. We have a community in LumApps, and that is where we ask our questions to the marketing team, Olivier perhaps. We share our resources, so I'm not having to email, hey, what's the floor plan looking like? Do I need to bring XYZ? And I wanted to show you a view of our Google Calendar, so I know exactly where I need to be, when I need to be there, and it eliminates that email chain back and forth. All my resources for Google Next are in one place. I want to jump quickly into a few admin features to highlight the autonomy of the system. So let's say I'm a department head and I want to publish a new news article. It's as simple as going to news. I can choose a predefined template and adding my content right from there. In our company, as an example, on our first day, everyone's first day, they're asked to write a welcome message about themselves. So they choose a content. They have one template to choose from, and it's completely locked down. But it's your first day, and you're already putting a welcome message about yourself, adding a photo. And after your boss approves it, it's open to the company. You get your flood of likes and comments. So it's just one example of how quick and easy it is to update, add, and edit content and publish it to the entire system. I don't know if you can see, but I'm just highlighting and dragging and dropping to make changes to the layout. And I talked about design and the simplicity. It's really easy to get the customized site that you are looking for. If I open up a widget library here, I showed you guys the Google Calendar on the homepage. It's as simple as choosing the widget you want, placing it where you want, and surfacing the content there. So, my last thing as I wrap up, everything I showed you today is also accessible via mobile, via your iOS and Android apps. So you get real-time notifications through the app, through email, and again, through the web. And I know Brent is going to continue with some use cases from our clients, and I want to thank you guys for your time, and I hope to talk to a few of you later today.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mary. So we've talked about the digital workplace and how LumApps enables organizations to realize it. And Mary has walked you through our product to give you an overview of what it looks like. However, the proof is in the pudding. So I want to share a few customers, who they are, what they do, and how they're using LumApps. FM Logistics is a global supply chain logistics firm with 24,000 employees they call collaborators across the globe. Their vision for LumApps is a perfect illustration of how our customers consider the digital workplace. So let's take a quick look.
In 50 years, FM Logistic has become an independent, international, and connected group. Today, to support its growth, our company is equipping itself with digital tools. Hello is our intranet platform, unique and collaborative, where we can share, comment, and release news, information on our platforms, our activities, our support, and operational functions at the same time to our 25,000 FM logistic collaborators in 14 countries around the world. Our Hello intranet also provides customized pages, as well as access to our G Suite work tools, communities, and business applications. It will very soon be connected to other digital tools, such as PEPS, our human resources management software. PEPS will facilitate the management and sharing of HR data such as personal information, leave requests, career evolution, as well as the onboarding and integration of our newcomers. This FM Logistic app will also be available on mobile phones. Manager's Cockpit, our stock management software, designed for our operational managers and platform team leaders. This Play Store is available on tablets. It will enable them to manage in real time their activities and resources. Thanks to all these new digital tools, we will be able to deliver specific information about any job, business unit, platform, or country, improve our efficiency and our productivity, contribute to our collective intelligence, build a real corporate social network.
Whoop, don't do that. There we go. So my favorite part of that video is the dancing. But as you can see, FM Logistics is leveraging LumApps to connect all its employees across all geos and roles, and providing a single point access to all productivity tools from one portal. Now, Finish Line is an American athletic apparel retailer with 15,000 employees and 900 stores across this country. They engage their team with an individual profile and personalized content for each employee, whether corporate or in the store. They use LumApps for a news center, job postings, employee recognition, corporate events planning, an app launcher, and an information repository. So let's hear from Warren Leonard, Finish Line VP of Technology and Operations Solutions, as he explains how they bring the national team together.
And then that with the whole idea of presenting a new intranet based on the LumApps platform that would bring people together, would be able to get our corporate communications and our messaging out to the organization in the written word, but a bit more visually, as well as the store personnel as well, to be able to get to a site where they used a very antiquated site today, and now getting to one that was more interactive, allowed them to communicate not only with corporate, but also with other stores. This was going to be the first instance where the store associate itself, themselves, would actually have an ID. We didn't have that before. Typically, on a day-to-day basis, our stores would just log in as the store. And the sales associate themselves didn't have an identity. This was going to give that sales associate an identity on the site. Not so much for email, but just for being able to communicate and be able to interact and also do things that they need to do, whether if it's just communicating or even doing things on Workday, because we're a Workday shop as well. So this was going to really bring the organization together. And
so building a strong culture and engaging employees is key to the battle of performance and innovation. This is especially interesting to me because retail companies often struggle to engage in-store employees. So by providing each individual employee with an identity, Finish Line seeks to up employee engagement and retention. And actually, for that customer story, you can check out our breakout session tomorrow at 1:55 p.m. You can hear Finish Line yourself. Etam is a French clothing company with 15,000 employees and over 3,000 stores worldwide. Now, you might notice a trend here. I've touched on it a couple of times, but first, Etam gave a digital identity to everyone in the company. Then they built an intranet with dedicated spaces for gradually more specific topics as the employee scrolls down the personalized homepage. So at the top left here, the corporate space provides all news about the entire company. Next, the brand space below with specific information related to the brand the employee belongs to. They have three brands. Third, the store space with KPIs and news about the specific store the employee belongs to. And last, the personal space with personalized information. And again, it's important to note that now these shop assistants have their personal interests displayed and don't connect to the intranet from a store account anymore. Being engaged is being recognized as an individual. All right, Tibco. Tibco is an integration, analytics, and event processing software company with over 5,000 employees worldwide. They bring all of their employees together with Tibco Connect. And it has two subsites called Tibco Elevate for sales enablement and Tibco Live for learning and development. Tibco provides all new employees with the tools they need to learn about the business and to present it well. And additionally, it has featured sections for the sales team that give them the latest and greatest assets for their products. With LumApps, they can build a self-service learning resource, which is crucial to creating a culture of continuous learning and development, increasing the level of knowledge of the organization, and increasing employee satisfaction and engagement. Last, increasing employee productivity. Tibco has also turned LumApps into their onboarding center, as making a strong first impression is crucial to satisfy and retain top talent and make newcomers reach cruising speed quickly. An onboarding center can be a dedicated site or a single community in LumApps where organizations can centralize all the information for a new employee, like policy documents, new hire forms, contacts and references. You can publish FAQs to quickly answer questions and collect relevant information, feedback from new employees, and encourage employees to socialize. As Mary said at LumApps here, every new employee posts up an introductory blog and gets to interact with the company on day one. Just Eat is an online food ordering company, ordering and delivery service, and they have almost 3,000 employees in 12 countries. Thanks to our powerful search function, Just Eat uses LumApps as a knowledge base. So for example, the tech team publishes a tip of the week, and before LumApps, this tip was distributed via mass email. And it's hard to find that in the future. It's also hard to target that. Now, the tech team posts this in the kitchen, which is LumApps, where employees follow the tips and can easily find and search for old articles. Leveraging our native communities feature, Just Eat gathers experts and leaders to enable exchanges between teams and build corporate knowledge. So some Just Eat country directors are using the communities to reach out to other teams and explain what they do, who they are, why it's important, etc. And this serves to break down internal silos, both social silos and informational silos. And just holistically, the topic of a knowledge base, it's becoming crucial to organizations. Workforce turnover is increasing due largely to two things, aging and retiring workforces, and higher employee mobility. So the challenges are to harness collective knowledge in people's heads, transfer it to a digital medium, build a digital corporate memory, and encourage employees to share knowledge. LumApps makes knowledge capture and sharing easy. Okay. José de Meo Soj. I think I did that right. This is my last customer. They're a Portuguese healthcare company with 8,300 employees. And their internet with LumApps is a unique entry point into the digital workplace. And one of the best use cases is the application list. Mary touched on this briefly in the demo, and I want to expand on it right here. From the home page, users give a single click to access the medical or non-medical applications they need. This list is personalized according to the connected user's profile. So for example, the application that I might see is different from what a doctor might see. And using SSO, employees don't have to sign into each application. So for the users, it's really easy. No need to remember a URL, remember an app name, or remember their password. They just have to click on the icon for the app, and they're in it instantly. Also, from the top navigation bar, there's a dedicated G Suite app launcher for tools like Gmail, Google Calendar, Drive, Docs, etc. This is native. And one last use case to touch on, and Finish Line leverages this, is the HR portal. So using pages or communities, HR teams can create a virtual portal to streamline day-to-day operations by displaying HR reference documents, FAQs, and answer employee questions. Also communicate with employees with rich content and social discussions. You can also post jobs. And we just talked about employee mobility briefly, but enabling employees to exercise that mobility within your organization increases retention. LumApps lets HR post jobs internally without IT taking on another tool, and allows employees to simply search and find jobs by brand, country, role, department, etc. Embrace mobility, retain talent. And lastly, the Employee Recognition Center. LumApps offers a simple way to acknowledge your exceptional employees. You can publish featured news to announce internal promotions. You can let employees nominate each other and congratulate their colleagues. And you can display a picture and interview with the employee of the month, stuff like that. Rewarding your employees through corporate acknowledgement and peer-to-peer recognition is key to create a culture of excellence and promote employee motivation and loyalty. Okay, now before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to speak on the trends that we're observing in the industry and what we're working on right now. The topics are gamification, AI, social advocacy, and search. First is gamification. I am an avid gamer. Nope, I do not play Fortnite. PUBG all the way. If you know what that is, find me afterwards, we can share Steam accounts. So I'm very competitive. I compete with my friends for ranking, and we're constantly comparing our stats and tier where we stack up globally in this game. It's really adult. So the topic of gamification is one that resonates with me personally. Many of you have probably heard of gamification, and simply put, gamification is the application of game elements to business contexts. It's incentivizing users to participate by going on quests, accumulating points, having competitive leaderboards, and awarding badges, stuff like that. And it's broken into 3 steps: play, reward, and engage. Number 1 is get users to play. Invite employees to compete in quests that will allow them to accrue more or less points depending on the complexity and value of the tasks they accomplish. And this strategy uses ideas and concepts that almost anybody can relate to. The game can be directly related to business activities or only to social cohesion. So for example, at LumApps, when I started, we were doing a competition internally to see who could take the LumApps banner and post a picture of it in the coolest place. I think somebody rock climbing in the Alps won. Cheaters. So then next is reward users for playing. So depending on the scores obtained, employees can receive rewards in the form of a badge, and we'll be able to compare their rankings. It's a form of healthy competition and is therefore established in the day of work for employees, who through play will naturally interact with the intranet. Rewards within a company's intranet are a powerful way to build a culture of recognition and to celebrate individual success. The third and final step for gamification is to engage the employees by affecting behavioral changes. So for businesses, gamification involves engaging employees and initiating, like I said, behavioral changes. Managers can take advantage of the introduction of the game to encourage interaction and understanding of information or processes, and familiarity and adoption of the intranet. Gamification aims to encourage the engagement of employees on the social internet or within communities of customers with the same mechanism used in games. We're currently piloting this with a few trusted testers, and we'll have more on this very soon. Second trend is artificial intelligence. This is obviously a hot topic. We're learning a lot about this at Google Next. And at LumApps, the first goal is, of course, to make our platform smarter to suggest relevant content to users. We also think that AI will enable managers and HR to understand the expectations of employees by allowing them to better understand what makes a community work well and how to boost lagging communities, analyze the content on the platform in real time to discover what are the hot topics and feel the actual pulse of the company live without loss or delay. And third, to better understand the informal functioning of the company through mapping of interactions between people to improve the organization and processes. Third, in trends is social advocacy. This is the idea of leveraging your employees' personal networks to create business and brand awareness publicly. We know that employees are connected to 10 times as many people as your company is, and that people trust their family and friends at least twice as much as your company. Additionally, corporate messages are reshared 24 times more when distributed by employees rather than companies. So LumApps aims to develop features that will enable employees to share content from the portal directly to their social media accounts, but in a secure and simple fashion. With social advocacy, your message reaches more people and is more valued at a lower cost. Again, holistically, social advocacy can allow companies to create a positive feedback loop, which is a way to engage more employees because they feel empowered, recognized, and trusted. They are empowered to share this content out to their friends and family. And then these engaged employees deliver superior customer experience, making your customers happier. And in turn, your customers are happier, making your employees more proud and more engaged. And finally, we're at a Google event, so the last thing I'll mention is search. Search is key with content management, and employees spend 20% of their time searching for information. And leveraging powerful search to reduce that number by any amount is a net gain. Now, modern organizations are looking for a way to search in one place across multiple disparate sources of information. So without giving away too much, I just ask you to look at that screen behind me and attend our breakout session on Thursday at 11:40 a.m. If you can't make that session, then just visit the Google Cloud Search booth and meet our LumApps product owner and engineer for search, Ivo Belin. Ivo can show you a demo of search within LumApps.